Hello folks, MKxJUMP here, and DH Games have released a brand new event which involves the treasure train. So today we're going to be talking about how I think free-to-play players and budget players should approach this in the most optimal way. So absolutely stay tuned for that. Now, you may have heard already that you can save the event currency for this. Of course you can, so that's something confirmed, which I can say I also spoke to the devs like Barry did. We have a double confirmation that that's the case. But about more strategies as to how saving is going to help you and what exactly you should spend your resources on, well, that's what I'm going to help you with today. As well, we'll break down this week's event, tell you how to get good rewards, and of course, tell you whether anything's actually worth buying if you're a spender. So folks, let's go ahead, buckle ourselves in for this week's event for Idle Heroes. So, this is a Sky Labyrinth event. Every single day for logging in, we'll get ourselves 15 mithril pickaxes and 1 super wishing coin. Super wishing coins are going to be used in the monthly events soon, so that's important that you grab that, and the mithril pickaxes are used this week to get some good rewards. Who'd have thought? It's been 2 years now since Sky Labyrinth was released. That is 24 Sky Labyrinth events we've had. Crazy. Either way, let's go take a look at the cool events and go and show you what we have for this week. So value packages are standard. It's double lots of gems compared to the VIP XP of the package. You get 70 mithril pickaxes, scaling down depending on your price point, and then of course wishing coins thrown in as well. So there are lots of different things to enjoy. You can of course buy these things with starry gems, but this is not the exciting thing to purchase this week. We have the charm package, and this is huge whale bait. DH Games are testing the waters with a new pack that is giving us charm treasure coupons. They work similar to treasure coupons, although you get more value for money when it comes to buying them. Also, other stuff is thrown in, like glorious relics and cores of transcendence. So on face value, you might be like, wow, that's worth $100. Added to that, they have added something called the series collection, where for every single one of these charm coupons you use, you'll get a point, and the more points you have, you will unlock chests. And each of these chests contain the new treasures that can be found in the treasure train. So we're going to be talking today about which treasures you should consider purchasing, or at least getting from these chests, because these are selection chests, and whether it's really worth pushing all the way up to 60, 100, and 150. So stay tuned for that. But before we do, we need to actually look at the treasure train and understand how this is interacting with it, because these aren't used in the normal treasure train. There's something called the special search. And during this week's special search, there is an up chance on alien dessert. In fact, alien dessert is the only thing you can get from this. Now, alien dessert's great, because that improves your performance in Void Campaign. If you didn't know, these alien desserts typically give special bonuses, but they can only be used in Void Campaign and normal campaign. However, super duper endgame whales have already cleared all the stages of campaign that are available to us, and therefore they very much prefer hero tokens, as these offer generic buffs to heroes from classes. As you can see here, this lipstick is giving damage reduction to warriors, and this is for all game modes, including things like Star Expedition and PvP. So whales much prefer this when it comes to whether it's going to give you good value. But that makes you probably think, if you're a whale, or if you're anybody for that matter, well, is it always going to be alien dessert that's increased here? Well, no. There will be future events just like this one, and instead of alien dessert, they could be giving us a better chance of getting hero tokens, or they could be giving us a chance of getting the really bad ones, the Forgotten Artifact. So what's nice is any that you do pick up this week, you can save for the particular type of treasure that you want, and then cash in on that one. So that's one reason to save them. Also, it means you can save them to eventually have enough to get yourself these cumulative rewards here, but you'll see the gap increases each time. Now, another thing with the treasure train that a lot of people should know before you get involved with this is you don't unlock the really high bonuses of items straight away. You need to collect multiple copies of them, and actually you need 16 copies of an item to get it all the way to 5-star, which is ridiculously expensive. So just bear that in mind before you go ahead and get carried away. However, it is nice to just get 2 copies and then, get your bonuses to increase twice. That's just good. But going ahead and stockpiling on a single one is the way to go ahead and get yourself added bonuses. So today I'll be telling you which ones you should probably chase. But before we do that, you need to understand how many of these tickets you're actually going to get if you're a spender or if you're free to play. So we've already seen where spenders can get some of these, and this is giving you tons of chances to grab them. You can get over 120 from here. You get 125 in total from there. You don't need to buy them all, as 150 is the way to complete this thing. And then the exploration package for this week gives an additional 25, taking you to 150. And there are other ways to get them as well, so you don't need to completely max out this event unless you're crazy, or maybe you're stockpiling them for the next one, in which case by all means go ahead. But this exploration package here is 10,000 gems. It's getting you 100 mithril pickaxes, which will help you in the Sky Labyrinth. That's more than the normal $100 package. You're getting 200 wishing coins, 25 charm coupons, which are really, really good. They need for this event. And of course, double rewards from Sky Labyrinth. Sky Labyrinth, of course, is where you can go ahead and put in a hero. I would always go with Queen, especially when you're starting off, and then you use pickaxes to clear these tiles until the exit appears. Always be wary of when your energy is getting to 43, because you want to have all the tiles around the square that you've come from uncovered, so you can get all 7 tiles cleared with that Halora active. So just be mindful. Just go ahead and watch me do it on the Diamond series or the VIP series. I have done this many, many times. However, there are added rewards this week where for each floor of Sky Labyrinth you clear, you'll get yourself a charm treasure coupon. Now, I want to stress, the double pack rewards that you get do not double those charm coupons. It's only doubling your Sky Labyrinth rewards. That's very, very standard. Also, the coupons are stopping being rewarded when you get to stage 6. Like, scroll down here, you don't see any more. Nope, it stops at stage 6. That is good, because it means free-to-play players will always get 6, because most free-to-play players will stop at the quad 5-star hero chest, so that's really, really cool. It also incentivizes people to use their gems in Sky Labyrinth, because a lot of people are questioning whether it's even worth it to go ahead and just get a 5-star chest with gems, because the majority of people, especially if they're established free-to-play players, would say no. So now there's another reason to go after Sky Labyrinth. It's these coupons, and this is the only way we've really seen free-to-play players have a way to get a lot of rewards for the treasure train, and 6 is pretty significant. Now, getting 6, of course, from Sky Labyrinth is nice, but where else can we get them? Well, the Wishing Fountain is actually giving us, for completing it, more of these treasure coupons. However, I wouldn't use my wishing coins to chase treasure coupons if I was an early player, free-to-play, or budget player, because for you guys, artifacts and sublimation are really important to get, so you want to save your wishing coins for big events that give that as rewards instead. However, if you are a whale or endgame player that already has lots of artifacts and sublimation and is actually sitting on too much, you might consider this as a good investment of your wishing coins, because getting these coupons is actually reducing the amount you'll need to spend, or makes it easier for you to create a stockpile of them to use in future series collection events. Definitely worth considering. And given all the ways that you can go ahead and acquire these, whether you're a whale or a free-to-play player, is it even worth going and saving them for this series collection to go all the way to 150? Well, let's immediately imagine you're a free-to-play player and you get 6 every time this event pops up. That means it's going to take you 25 of these events to go ahead and get to 150. No, that's not worth it. That's going to take you years to get to 150, and you're only getting 1 of each. Remember how you need multiple of the same to get the bonus rewards? Well, 150 is just wasted. It would be much more effective to just cash in every time you get to 10 or every time you get to 30 to get yourself lots of purples or lots of purples and greens. There's another reason that's really important as well. Free-to-play budget players, you both share one common thing. Void campaign is really, really hard. So the alien dessert is great for you. And in here, there is a green and a purple item which is insanely powerful. We have the Cream of Mushroom Soup, which starts off giving 25% skill damage, but massively increases until the fact when you've upgraded it all the way, it's going to give 126.8% skill damage. Now, you might think skill damage is typically bad, but on heroes like Vulcan, Mockman, Asmodel the Dauntless, this adds up massively because their attack has so many different components that skill damage is going to make them do mad things. So the fact where the best possible thing you can put on a Vulcan, a Doom Terminator Vulcan, is skill damage. So you could just go ahead and every time you get to 10, just cash in, grab a purple chest every time this event pops up, and just continuously grab cream of mushroom soups until you've maxed this out. And I promise you, 126.8% skill damage in Void Campaign is going to be bonkers and really help your Vulcan or Mockman clear through that well. If you're a really early player, then by the time it takes you to build a Vulcan and Mockman team for Void Campaign, because you'll need like 6-7 Transcendence Heroes to put something together that's actually respectable, well, guys, you are going to have the time to go ahead and max this just in time for that to be a thing. And some of you might be using Mockman early, some of you might be using Swordflash early to clear through Void Campaign, and of course, even then, this will help you. But go ahead and look at the green ones, and you can see above we have the refreshing lemon tea. And this gives holy damage as well. Starts off at 5%, but goes all the way up to 25.5. So another strategy would be to, instead of just cashing in purples, would be to get to 30 and grab the purple chest and the green chest, and then each time get the refreshing lemon tea alongside the cream of mushroom soup so that you're gaining both skill damage and holy damage. This, for me, is the best thing that any budget player can possibly do when approaching this event. In fact, I think I, as a player, am every event always just going to get to 30 on this to do exactly the same, because skill damage and holy damage are significant for Void Campaign, and I will happily grab them rather than spending hundreds and hundreds of bucks to get all the way up to the reds, pinks, and oranges. Maybe there's an argument, if I'm a spender, to keep going up to the red to consider one of these. So you could argue that actually there's some decent stuff here. And if you go ahead and look at hero tokens, I'm sure there's some really nice red hero tokens out here that we can take a look at. For example, of course, there's damage reduction for warriors. We've got ourselves control precision for mages. So there's good ones out there that work nicely. This gauntlet gives crit for assassins, holy damage for rangers. So they're all really nice. I wouldn't go with this one though. Heal effect for priests can be a bit disappointing. But if you go look at the ones for Void Campaign, the red ones, we have an attack increase for your heroes. Awesome. We like that. We've got a HP increase. And then this one just gives high fixed stats. That's kind of cool, actually, but it's definitely not that high. Precision, that scales up nicely, so if your heroes can't reach the max of precision, you do get some damage dealt for increasing precision. And then we have block as well, which for me in Void Campaign ain't that significant. So really, if I was going to go after one of these in particular, I'd probably chase the one that gives a decent amount of attack here, because, I mean, it's only 10.2, so maybe it's not even worth it. You could argue that actually even that is just not good compared to the holy damage and the skill damage. And you know what? I'd be inclined to agree with you. In fact, the damage reduction on warriors, or maybe the control precision for mages, is actually just significantly better. So probably worth considering that stuff. But then again, that mage stuff's only good if you're using a Jara, and the damage reduction for warriors is only good if you're using warriors. But then again, Vulcan, Mockman, Asmodel, they are all warriors. In fact, we're getting Transcendence Alamax soon. He is a warrior too. So maybe the lipstick is pretty decent if you wanted something to chase, and you did get a decent amount of HP from this, so potentially, if you're a spender, you could push up to the red chest. But I think if you're really going to go crazy on this event and push really high to the orange chest, then it's down to you what you want, but it really does get silly after that, because you need so many of these tickets, and typically you're only getting 25 for $100. And if this happens multiple times, this particular event, and whales are continuously chasing it, well, that's just what DH Games wants. If you go in on this event and you spend the $605 needed to go ahead and get all the way up to 150, that's assuming you're not using wishing coins, then wow, you've just spent $600 to go ahead and do all of this. Now, first things first, this is the first time we've ever seen these chests, so I promise you DH Games are going to find other ways to give us these chests as rewards as well. They did the same with flags. They made it really expensive when flags came out, and they had an event just like this, which gave us flags with each tier we went, and it got more expensive each time. They're gonna, of course, give these in different ways for cheaper. This is just a nice way for them to test. Will whales spend $600 on this? And if whales don't, they won't do it again. But if enough whales do, they'll then bring it back for maybe $550. And you'll go, well, I spent $600 last time, so I guess $550 is cheaper. And then they'll take the price down again and again. And they will just keep milking and milking their cash cow whales until they get to a point where they're like, yeah, we've made enough money out of these guys. Let's just help the free-to-plays now. But remember, the best ones for free-to-play players are in the green and the purple anyway, because the skill damage and holy damage is fine. So don't get confused. But yeah, it's going to take you 5 lots of this event to save up to get to 30, which is the green one, assuming you don't buy any of these tickets. And it's going to take you 2 events, just 2 lots of 6, to go ahead and get up to the purple ones. So it's up to you whether you go all in on skill damage or skill damage and holy damage as a budget player. And as I said, there could be arguments for going up to red if you're a spender, but after that, it really doesn't seem worth it because you need 16, as I said, to max one of these things out. So the question on everybody's mind, is it worth grabbing all of these tickets? Yeah, sure. You can grab as many as you like and spend as much as you like, but I would go ahead and save them so that you're using them optimally to get these series collection stuff. Because these events will return again. It will use this currency again. That has been confirmed by the developers. And in fact, you can't use this currency unless it's an event like this, because as we see in the treasure train, there is literally a timer, meaning once this timer runs out, you can't use those tickets anymore, and you'll have to wait for the next event anyway. Don't forget as well, it is giving you these specific ones, so choose the event that gives you the ones you want, and that way you should hopefully get lucky. And yeah, on top of all of that, mysterious chests here, the event bit we haven't really talked about. And honestly, I think that's fair because mysterious chests really aren't that exciting anymore. We've seen so many events like the Mech Raid, we've got Sky Labyrinth, Imps Adventure, people are still skipping that based on gem use. We always have big events like Easter, Christmas, Black Friday, anniversaries coming up soon. I mean, April Fools might even need us to go ahead and spend a ton of gems. There are loads of reasons to save your gems in Idle Heroes, and going ahead and spending thousands and thousands on this might not be worth it. Some of you may still go for the Heroic Summons and the Hero Promotion Stones. I would get that. Some of you might still go for skins to make legendary skins, but more and more often people turn around to me and say the 8,000 gem chest just isn't worth it for them, and I haven't bought this in absolutely ages on some of my accounts. And actually the accounts I have bought it on, I will absolutely stop because I have way too many chests, so I physically cannot make heroes anymore. Chests just aren't as good as they used to be because when it comes to Compass of Transcended selections, you can kind of pick the heroes you want and there's a good chance you're going to get them, and there are so many other ways to get heroes from rewards as well that oftentimes it's just not worth it. Events use so many gems these days, so finding a reason to spend them on mysterious chests is difficult. So most of you will want to skip this. Maybe early players might want to chase the guild coins, relics, and imminent chest if it's going to help you with your early E5s. But after that, guys, after a few months of playing, you will stop seeing the value of this very quickly. So yeah, and again, don't use your wishing coins this week. There's no real reason. Unless, of course, you're a whale that really needs these treasure coupons. I don't see a reason to, because you really should be going for artifacts of sublimation if you're a new or early or low budget player. Finally, guys, next week looks pretty good. We've got ourselves the Call of Stars, which has confirmed the hero that will be transcended next is Ailamak. A lot of people were wondering if it was going to be not Ailamak because it wasn't leaked early on. I think they just didn't have a hero design for him yet. But yeah, Ailamak is getting transcended. That's cool. We've got the Hero Lottery, Summon Prizes, Hero Exchange event, which is giving Queen, what the heck, and Mockman, that's good. So we got some good heroes there at least. And yeah, it's going to be a Transcendence event. It'd be fun to see what DH Games have up their sleeve for Transcendence events now that we've had Black Friday, Christmas, Chinese New Year, huge Transcendence events that blew our minds. Halloween was another one. So I'm curious if DH Games can either match the hype of previous Heroic Summon events or whether they're going to accept that most of us just do not have a lot of scrolls. I don't even have over 1,000 scrolls on the VIP series. So they might just say, yeah, we'll make this a bit boring. If people want to cash in and get an artifact as a free-to-play player, they can do. If they can't do that, well, there you go. So I think this is an opportunity for budget players to go ahead and get an artifact for free or a sublimation chest for free, but it might not be, in which case, if you don't have those scrolls, it doesn't matter. If you do have the scrolls, though, it should be pretty good. So we'll just go ahead and break this down next week. If you want to see what that's all about, of course, go ahead and hit that subscribe button so that you guys will catch more updates like this every Friday. And hopefully this didn't go over your head. I feel like I waffled a lot about this stuff when it comes to those treasure coupons, but hopefully the argument that it's worth saving them to go ahead and cash in on the lower ones so you can get lots of them is arguably better than going all the way to 150. Unless, of course, you're going to whale this every single time, in which case you're playing right into DH Games' hands, and honestly, I don't think it's worth spending that much money. Some would argue as well, whales can already complete most game modes anyway without the treasure coupon stuff, so why get it? However, on the contrary, Early whales can't, and the amount of stat bonuses you get if you're an early whale from the treasure train is pretty significant. So those guys are playing a completely different game to later whales and will really enjoy the treasure train. So it's up to you how much you spend. I'm not going to tell people what to do with their money, but I will say if you wanted to go and get that $100 package for the event, that's pretty sound, and you could easily get up to 30, cash in your coupons, and then just leave it there and wait till next time. That's probably what I'm going to do, but we'll just have to wait and see. Either way, folks, thank you for tuning in. I'll see you in the next one. Have a good week. And of course, happy idling.